Hello students, welcome to All Force e-learning channel. This is K. Nageshwara, your physics faculty. Today we are about to deal with session number 51, first year NEET, session number 51. In the previous session we were discussing about oblique projectile related data and we have drawn several conclusions so far. We have come to know what horizontal range is, what time of flight is, what maximum height is, when maximum range can be obtained, at what angle of projection. Okay, at that time what are the various other parameters, like what will be maximum height and maximum range relation. Okay, what if ranges are supposed to be same, at what angles of projection we have to project. Complementary angles, we have talked about complementary angles, isn't it? For two different angles the same range is possible. Okay, so like that several points were discussed. The very important conclusion that we have drawn in the first session connected with this oblique projectile is the trajectories equation y is equal to ax minus bx square, where a is tan theta, b is g by 2u square cos square theta. If you know a and b values, you can write expression for time of flight, range, horizon, what maximum height, initial velocity of projection. All these things can be expressed in terms of a and b. Okay, so this is what we have done so far. Okay, let us try to study this trajectory a bit more. Okay, oblique projectile. I'll imagine that a body is projected with the initial velocity u at an angle theta with the horizontal. Let us say the trajectory followed by this body is this one. Okay, this is the path followed by the object. This initial velocity can be resolved into two components. One is u cos theta and the other one is u sin theta. Isn't it? Let us take it as point of projection. I'm taking it as 1. I'll take one more point here. Let us say this is 2. I will take one more point at the top of the trajectory at the maximum height position. Let us say it's 3. I'll take one more point here. Let us call it as 4. So let us try to study these different positions in different aspects. See, when you focus on the point of projection here, the acceleration is in the downward direction, g, and what is the angle between acceleration and the initial velocity of projection? It is equal to how much? 90 plus theta, isn't it? This is the, let me write it. That 90 plus theta is what? Angle between acceleration experienced by the body and velocity. Angle between g and or g bar and u bar is 90 plus theta. The other thing is this u bar here it is expressed as u cos theta into I cap plus u sin theta into j cap, isn't it? So whatever this horizontal component of velocity is, that is u cos theta, vertical component of velocity is u sin theta. So these are a few points connected with this one. Okay, so let us focus on this one. By the time the body reaches here, okay, its velocity will be different. Tangentially, let us say the velocity is something like v. If it is resolved into two components, okay, one component x component, the other component will be y component. Let us say it is making an angle alpha with the horizontal. This angle and this angle won't be same. Okay, at the point of projection, angle of projection is theta, but here, as it is reaching the highest point of the trajectory, this angle decreases. By the time it reaches here, the angle made by the velocity with the horizontal becomes 0. And gradually again it increases, and finally whatever angle it makes with the horizontal at the point where it is striking the ground, that angle will be exactly equal to theta. Okay, this point was also stressed in the previous sessions. So now let us talk about this Vx. How this Vx can be written? At point 2. What is Vx? Vx is the same Ux only. Ux is what? U cos theta. Horizontal component will not change throughout the journey. What about Vy? Let us say after a time t it has reached this position 2. So this Vy can be expressed as Uy minus Gt. Uy minus Gt. So this can be further, how it can be modified? Uy is what? Initial velocity along vertically upward direction, which is u sin theta minus Gt. So that's how the vertical component can be written. And what about the total velocity? This total velocity's magnitude, or total velocity in vector form can be expressed as Vx I cap plus Vy j cap. Further, this can be written as V bar is equal to Vx is what? U cos theta. U cos theta I cap plus what is Vy? U sin theta minus gt into j cap. So that's how v bar can be written after a time t. If at all, if a height is given, let us say this point is at a height equal to h. In terms of height also, you can express this vertical component of velocity. You know how? This vy can be expressed as, or vy square is equal to uy square minus 2gh, isn't it? So uy is what? U cos theta minus 2gh. Therefore, vy is equal to under root u cos theta minus 2gh. So like that also you can express vertical component of velocity at a height equal to h. And this thing can be replaced here, no problem. Okay, so that's how in different ways you can approach. What about the angle between acceleration due to gravity and acceleration due to gravity will be in the vertically downward direction, right? And the velocity is along this direction making an angle alpha with the horizontal. So what is the angle between acceleration due to gravity and the velocity? It's a 90 plus alpha. So angle between z and v is how much? 90 plus alpha. 90 plus alpha. So that's how you can talk about these details. What about point 3? By the time it reaches the highest position of the trajectory, vy, vertical component becomes 0, and horizontal component ux is, vx is equal to what? Ux. Vx and ux both are same. This is equal to u cos theta. So here the total velocity is itself u cos theta. And what about angle between acceleration due to gravity and this velocity? It's 90 degree. Okay. And sometimes you'll have questions like, how much is the change in velocity in horizontal component, by the time body reaches from initial velocity of projection to, initial point of projection to highest point. Will there be any change in the horizontal component? There won't be any change. The change is 0. If at all, if any change is there, there will be a change in vertical component of velocity. Here it is u sin theta. By the time it has reached here, vertical component has become 0. So change in the magnitude of change in vertical component of velocity is how much? 0 minus u sin theta, or in terms of magnitude, u sin theta. You can write it as u sin theta. Okay. And by the time it reaches here, the situation will be slightly different. Okay. Let me remove this. Okay. So by the time it reaches here, let us say the velocity is v. In fact, since both these 2 points, 1 and 4, are on the same level, it reaches with the same velocity. With whatever velocity it is projected, with the same velocity it reaches. It strikes this point, provided but resistance is ignored, air resistance. So u, if this is resolved into components, again you will have u cos theta here. Horizontal component doesn't change, and the vertical component, it remains constant, which is u sin theta. So all are same, except this u sin theta, this u sin theta, both are opposite in direction, isn't it? One is in the vertically upward direction, the other one is vertically in the downward direction. If at all, if you are supposed to find out the change in vertical component of velocity, here what is the vertical change in vertical component of velocity at point 4 here. Okay, at point 3 we already discussed about the details. At point 4, change in vertical component of velocity. How it can be written? Change in vertical component of velocity, delta vy is equal to, since it is in the downward direction, like you can take it as a negative y-axis. Okay, this is y-axis, this is x-axis, isn't it? So minus u sin theta j cap minus initial velocity. Initial velocity is in the upward direction, isn't it? So it is written as u sin theta j cap. Therefore, minus 2u sin theta j cap. This negative sign indicates that the change in vertical component of velocity is in the downward direction. And if at all, if you are supposed to write just magnitude and change in vertical component of velocity, you can conclude like this: 2u sin theta. And will there be any change in the horizontal component of velocity? Initially it is u cos theta. Finally also, at the time of striking the ground also, its component is same, horizontal component u cos theta. So there is no any change in the horizontal component of velocity. So delta Vx equal to 0. Change in the horizontal component of velocity is 0. What about this angle? This angle is same here and here. Okay. Initially, it is projected along this direction such that making an angle theta with the horizontal. Now, what is the angle between initial and final directions? 2 theta. 2 theta, isn't it? What about angle between acceleration due to gravity and final velocity? I'll take it as some pi. Okay. and this pi can be written as angle between G and U. U in the sense this velocity at point 4 or position 4. How much is that angle? This pi is nothing but 90 minus theta. This is theta. So this pi can be written as 90 minus theta. So the angle between G and U at position 4 or at the point where it strikes the ground. It strikes the ground is how much 90 minus theta. So that's how you can explore various details connected with different points on the trajectory. Okay, so let us continue ahead with a few other details. Let's discuss about a few other details connected with the trajectory only. Let us say the body is projected obliquely with an initial velocity u at an angle theta. So it follows a trajectory something like this. Let us say it has reached up to here. Okay, the velocity of the body at this point is v. So horizontal component of velocity vx, vertical component of velocity vy. Let this angle is alpha. How much is that angle? Alpha. Angle made by v bar with the horizontal is alpha. If you are supposed to find out how much is that alpha, you can take it like this. Tan alpha Vy. So tan alpha can be written as Vy by Vx. Just now we have written the expression for Vy. After a time t, Vy can be expressed as Uy minus Gt by Vx, or tan alpha is equal to Vy. Uy is what? U sin theta minus Gt by Vx is what? U cos theta. So with the help of this equation, you will be able to identify how much angle the velocity makes after a time equal to t. Okay, let us try to find out after what time the direction of velocity of the body becomes perpendicular to initial direction of projection. Initially it was projected here. This is the point of projection at an angle theta. Definitely, after crossing this peak, highest position, somewhere here, the velocity will be, in this direction, like this. Okay, so between this direction and this direction, you can have 90-degree angle. You can have 90-degree angle. So let us try to find out after what time the angle between velocity of the body and the initial velocity of the projection will be 90-degree. So let t be the time after which velocity of the body will be perpendicular to initial direction of projection. Now, tell me what is the initial velocity here? U bar is equal to u cos theta into I cap plus u sin theta into j cap. So that's how vectorially you can express initial velocity of projection, isn't it? Let us say after a time t, velocity is v. After a time t, velocity is v. After a time t, Vx is expressed as, it's the same as ux, u cos theta, horizontal component doesn't change. And what about Vy? Vy is expressed as Uy minus Gt. After a time t, that's how we write vertical component of velocity, isn't it? And this Uy is u sin theta minus Gt. So now what will be the vector form of the velocity? V bar is equal to Vx I cap plus Vy j cap. See, whatever velocity expression I am writing, that is the velocity of the body after a time t. So this Vx is u cos theta into I cap plus Vy is what? U sin theta minus Gt into j cap. Okay, from our knowledge of vectors concept, we know that if two vectors are mutually perpendicular to each other, when you take dot product between them, it becomes 0, isn't it? Dot product between two mutually perpendicular vectors is what? 0. Since we are talking about this u bar being perpendicular to v bar, or v bar and u bar are mutually perpendicular to each other, when you take dot product between them, it becomes 0. So now let us take dot product. u bar, u cos theta I cap plus u sin theta j cap. So u cos theta into u cos theta, what you will get? U square cos square theta plus j cap coefficient. U sin theta into this one. U sin theta into u sin theta minus gt equal to what? 0. That's how the equation can be written. So let us simplify this and write an expression for t. Okay, t equal to something we'll get. And what that t is? Time after which the angle between velocity vector, and the initial direction of projection will be 90 degree. So u square cos square theta plus, let us multiply this into the bracket, we'll have u square sin square theta minus u sin theta into gt. If this term is taken towards arch side, you will have plus u sin theta gt. So u square cos square theta plus u square cos square theta, it's u square. If you take out u square common, cos square theta plus sin square theta, it's 1. So u square is equal to u sin theta into gt. U gets cancelled, therefore t is equal to u by g sin theta. So this is the expression for time after which both the velocities, initial velocity and the velocity after a time t, both will be mutually perpendicular to each other. And you can also write this as 1 by sin theta is what? Cosecant theta, right? So u cosecant theta by g. So like this also you can express. Okay, so let us approach the same trajectory in some other view. Now let us discuss about position vector of projectile after a time t. I'll consider an oblique projectile, something like this. Let us say this is the trajectory. Let initially it is projected with a velocity u bar, making an angle theta. So its horizontal component is u cos theta, vertical component is u sin theta. So let us say after a time t, it has reached a point P here. Where is that? It is at a point P. Let the projectile is at a point P after a time t. So what we are trying to find out? We are trying to find out position vector of the projectile. So position vector. Okay. So therefore, position vector is equal to what here? OP bar. Let coordinates of this point P in this xy plane, I'll take it as x comma y. What does it mean? It means in a time t, along x direction, the projectile has traveled a distance equal to x. In a time t, along y direction, the projectile has traveled a distance equal to y. So in terms of x comma y, how this position vector can be expressed? Xi cap plus yj cap. So now our job has become simple. All that we need to do is we have to find out what this x and y are after a time t and substitute here, then you will get position vector. So how this x can be written after a time t? X is horizontal distance traveled in a time t. What is the velocity along horizontal direction? U cos theta into t. So that is what x is. What about y? Vertical distance. Vertical distance is equal to uyt minus half gt square. Uy is what? U sin theta into t minus half gt square. Okay, along horizontal direction you will not be writing plus half at square because the acceleration won't be there along horizontal direction. Velocity remains constant. There is no any change. So acceleration is 0. So now we have identified x and y coordinates. Just we need to replace them here. So what you will get, therefore OP bar is equal to u cos theta into t I cap plus u sin theta into t minus half gt square into j cap. Depending upon whatever kind of situation he is narrating the problem, these equations can be modified. Okay, if thetas are given and if t is given, you can substitute and you can modify and you will be able to get what a position vector of the projectile after a time t. Okay, so let us proceed. Now let us consider one more situation. Let us say a body is projected with an initial velocity u. With an initial velocity, the body is projected. U at an angle theta with the horizontal. So the trajectory, it appears something like this. Okay. See, I'll assume one point here, somewhere here. Okay, I'll take the time taken by the body to reach from the point of projection to this point as t1 seconds. So how much time it has taken? T1 seconds. Let us say this point is at height equal to h. At what height that point is located from the ground? At a height equal to h. And how much time the body has taken to reach this point? Let us call this as p. So how much time the body has taken to reach point p? T1 seconds. And after p, again, it has traveled along this trajectory and it has striking the ground somewhere here. So the time taken for this journey, I'll take it as t2. So from point p to O, P, Q. So from point P to Q, how much time it has taken? It has taken a time equal to t2. See, what is the total time of journey here? t1 plus t2, obviously, isn't it? So t1 plus t2. This is in fact nothing but time of flight. Is nothing but time of flight. Okay, and this time of flight is expressed as 2u sine theta by z, isn't it? Okay, let us keep it as it is, or we can make a small modification here. U sine theta, something which is unknown, we don't know, so it can be written as g by 2 into t1 plus t2. Okay, let us conclude it here like this. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to find out h value. Okay, h. Let us try to write an equation for h. How this equation for h can be written? This h is vertical distance covered by the body. What is initial velocity along vertically upward direction? U sine theta. And along horizontal direction, u cos theta. Okay. If the question is like, in a time equal to 2 seconds, so how much horizontal distance the body covers for a given velocity and for a given angle of projection? Simply u cos theta into time. In the vertical direction, u sine theta into time. So here, not like that. In case of vertical projection, u sine theta into t minus half gt square. That's what you have to take, because it is controlled by the gravity. Its velocity gradually decreases. Since in the horizontal direction, velocity remains constant, for everything, for whatever time he mentions, you can take distance, horizontal distance covered as u cos theta into t. So h, I'll write it as uy t minus half g t square. And here, how much time it has taken, in fact, to reach this height h? T1 seconds. So you can replace t with t1 seconds, right? And what is this uy? Uy is this one only, right? Uy is u sine theta, and this uy is what? G by 2 into t1 plus t2. So let us replace uy with g by 2 into t1 plus t2 into t1 minus half gt1 square. Let us simplify this. G by 2 t1 into t1 square plus g by 2 t1 into t2 minus half g t1 square. This term gets cancelled. Therefore, finally, what you have ended up with, h is equal to half g t1 t2, half g t1 t2. So this is the height equation in terms of times. Okay, what is that t1? T1 is the time taken by the body to reach a height h from the point of projection. Okay, and t2 is from that height to reach again, the ground, to strike the ground. Whatever time it takes, that is t2. See, the same situation can also be imagined something like this. I'll draw one more trajectory here. If you observe this carefully, let us say this is the trajectory. A body is projected with initial velocity u. Let us say there is a point here which is at a height equal to h. At a height equal to h. Symmetrically, on the other side of the maximum height also, you can have one more point which is also at a height equal to h. Which is also at a height equal to h. Can't you find? Yes, we can find. Let us say from here, the time taken by the body to reach this point P is t1 seconds. From this point of projection, again, if I measure the time, let us say that time comes out to be as t2 to reach this point Q. Okay, let me tell you again. These 2 points are at the same height. When the body is projected from this point O, it has crossed point P in a time equal to t1 seconds, and the body has crossed the point Q in a time equal to t2 seconds. And this t2 seconds is measured from the starting, from the point of projection. And this situation, this one, both are same. Both are same. Okay, and here also, what you will get? H is equal to half G T1 T2. Okay, so the same thing can be understood in different ways, like this. Okay, right? That's it. Let us try one or two problems based on this discussion.